Lana Del Rey teased her ninth album, There's a Tunnel Under Ocean Boulevard, with a reflective and serene title track, following it by the 7-minute opus A&W. A 7-minute track that is the summation of Lana's entire career that spans for 20 years now. A&W is an immaculate, lavish, and elusive piece of fiction that has Lana's standard way of mixing retro aesthetics with modern musical ideas, while paying respect to her American roots. And in a true poet fashion, Lana opens up about all her past traumas, all the things that makes her music the way it is, the true way that people adored and connected with. Theoretically speaking, there is no breakthrough or reinventing in A&W, but somehow this track managed to turn heads towards Lana's new album. It was both a commercial and critical success. It briefly trended on TikTok. It was even named the best song of 2023 by Pitchfork, NME, and more publications. So, what sets A&W apart from the rest of Lana's body of work? This track even made her biggest doubters agree that this song is a defining piece of art. Well, the answer is that because A&W is more or less a celebration of Lana's entire career. It's like the glass onion for the Beatles. And in a way, it feels like this song has been in the making for years, as it referenced so many themes and musical endeavors from Lana's discography. Some of the very high-pitched vocal inflations in the song sounds very similar to the Lizzie Grant era. The nihilistic aspect of the song feels like ultraviolence. The trap beat switch in the middle of the song refers to honeymoon or lust for life era. The song also dabbles into the themes that Lana has been talking about for the majority of her career, such as being in love with an older man, lamenting her lost childhood, the dark side of fame, addiction, being the other woman, and toxic validation. The references even extended to the title of the song, as A&W is the name of an American root beer brand and a roadside chain restaurant. Of course, this references Lana's tendency to name some of her songs after soda pop drink brands, like Cola or Diet Mountain Dew. There are reoccurring elements in Lana's music, but they never coexist in such an intentional way. This conveys the feeling that Lana Del Rey is one of the most self-aware artists at the moment. Unlike other artists who became a brand, having teams under them, calculating their every single step of the way, which makes them gradually lose their humanity and empathy. But Lana Del Rey comes off as a real person with real problems, speaking the common man language. She also has a complete grasp of her legacy as an artist, and A&W is the ultimate manifestation of that. A&W's lyrics are, as I mentioned before, elusive. They're like a mirage that points you to a destination, but once you reach this destination, you forget why you came here in the first place. That's because A&W's lyrics are not straightforward. They aren't telling your traditional straightforward story. It's more of a fragmented vignette that is supposed to convey a certain feeling. A feeling of dissociation is better displayed in the line, I mean, look at me, look at my hair and my face and the shape of my body. Do you think I give a damn what I do after years of hearing them talking? This might be referencing the body shaming campaigns that targeted Lana Del Rey on social media. This sense of dissociation comes from Lana's acceptance of the harsh realities of life, such as the traumas that she went through from her distant mother to doubting if she'd ever reach the heights of success that she once has reached before. And even though these subjects did matter a lot to her at a certain point, they're kinda losing their value over time. However, they still matter to a certain degree. This idea is the seed behind the other meaning of the title, American Whore, as Lana links her feeling of gradual dissociation from things that once mattered to a whore that's experiencing a gradual dissociation from human connections. This is clearly shown in her lines. It's not about having someone to love me anymore. This is the experience of being an American whore. She goes on drawing lines of similarities between her own life and the life of a whore, saying that even though she lives in a semi-decent area, she still feels like she is a resident of a cheap motel. This is shown in, I say I live in Rosemead, really, I'm at the Ramada, it doesn't really matter, doesn't really matter. The emphasis here of doesn't matter shows that it does still matter. The song takes a rough turn when Lana says that even though she went through all of this trauma, it kind of feels that she's the one who subjected herself to all of this trauma. It feels like all of these horrible things are somehow her fault. She says, I'm a princess, I'm divisive, ask me why I'm like this. Maybe I just kinda like this, I don't know, maybe I'm just like this. Victims of sexual assaults tend to feel like they are partially responsible for the crime. That's what Lana is experiencing here. She even alludes to the possibility of being raped. She says it in such a casual and graceful way that it makes it feel like all of this is rhetorical. If I told you that I was raped, do you really think anybody would think I didn't ask for it? That sense of responsibility for the assault, along with Lana's notoriety for romanticizing toxic relationships, makes her feel like even if she was raped, no one would believe her, and they will get the idea that she asked for it. All of these dark thoughts are the culmination of why she chose to dissociate herself from the things that she really loves. Second part of the song, which is now called Jimmy by her fans, represents the completion of this dissociation process, kind of like the end of Metamorphosis. Embracing the quick relief of the drug with the character named Jimmy, who actually makes an appearance a few times throughout Lana's discography, is a way for Lana to numb the pain, to numb her feelings and accept the new harsh reality. A&W is produced by the longtime collaborator Jack Antonoff. Jack Antonoff is a veteran by this point, taking part in producing many great records with a unique production style that pushes anyone who works with him beyond their limits. Lana in particular witnessed a renaissance with Jack Antonoff since their collaboration on Norman Rockwell, which till this point remains a fan favorite, and my favorite album of Lana Del Rey is definitely Norman Rockwell. It is also one of Lana's most critically acclaimed records, and that's for a good reason, as Norman Rockwell showed a kind of evolution for Lana and her music like no other. It felt like Lana 2.0. Jack went on making 3 more records with Lana, last one of them being Ocean Boulevard. In an Instagram post before the release of the album, Jack Antonoff said that A&W is his favorite song that he ever worked on with Lana, and I can see why. This song has Jack Antonoff's fingerprints all over it, from the reverbed vocals to the restrained piano, which makes the majority of the track with Lana's vocals. And we cannot forget about the second phase of the song, where the song morphs into a smooth atmospheric rhythm before entering the trap beat switch, which has an interpolations of the 1960 song Chimmy Chimmy Cocoa Pop by Little Richards.
Shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop, shimmy, shimmy, pop.
Jimmy, Jimmy, cocoa pop, Jimmy, Jimmy, ride.
This trap section isn't something new to Lana. We can see a very similar structure in her song Arcadia from Blue Bannister's record, where the song has a full-on trap outro. But even before that, you can see Lana's hip-hop influences in songs like High by the Beach or Summer Bummer, which featured A$AP Rocky and Playboi Carti. There's also a dramatic sweep of strings in the middle of the Jimmy part that sounds very similar to the Born to Die era. The sonic aspect of A&W perfectly matches the lyricism and the self-referential style of writing, as it also alludes to different eras in Lana's career, from the spacious production of Ultraviolence to the theatrics of Norman Rockwell to the trap infusion in Lust for Life. It's like the song is a time capsule, but this time Lana is visiting all of these eras and musical styles from her past with grace and skill. A&W encapsulates Lana Del Rey's fascinating career, from making Born to Die, which is one of the most influential albums of all time, to abandoning pop music altogether for a more poetic and introspective style, like in Norman Rockwell or Ocean Boulevard. And although A&W is a truly somber song, it serves as a celebration of Lana as an artist and her influence on the music scene. But it's Lana's type of celebration. It's going to be dark, it's going to be bleak, but it's still a triumphant moment of an emotionally generous artist who shook the world with her humanity and vulnerability.
Thank you so much for watching.